Just a few thoughts on the Purge films. I've watched the first two. I do believe this is the second one. It's like four now, I think. This is the Zionist wet dream. You know, it's what happens is a new regime in America, right? The NWO, of course, which is the second Bolshevik, Jewish Zionist Bolshevik revolution, communism, the Hunger Games. Just to note, this is all over the movie. This is one. Why is this the only number? You know, 314, 31. 31, 31st of a month. I've always been saying it's 13th or 31st. Also, it could be 22nd and 23rd, but, you know, some kickoff, Seattle, Pacific Rim, false flag, boom, blackouts and lockdown. Now, Purge films, every single one of these Purge films goes into lockdown. It's mentioned many times, you know, as midnight approaches, boom, it's not lockdown, right? Lockdown is another word for martial law or shelter in place. You know, they like to give it different terms now, but it's just martial law. Mars, which is the original stem of martial law, Mars, which is Ra. Right? Amun-Ra, Israel. Isis, Amun-Ra, Elohim, Israel. So, they're all featuring the lockdown. One thing I would mention, the overall theme, is that, you know, once you've got the Pacific Rim false flag kicking off, West Coast false flag. There has to be one because there's been East Coast, been South, and now has to be a West. Key West in the Kong movie, Kong Skull Island. I watched it again. You know, it's all about going to Key West, right? The Key Arena, Seattle. Solomon's Key. It's all about Solomon. It's the Order of Solomon. It's Freemasonry, Order of Solomon. Seal of Solomon. So anyway, once they do that and they get the blackout going and they get the martial law going, now at that point, martial law means you can't go outside after a certain curfew. And if you do, guess what? The police and the army are going to be standing out there with orders to shoot to kill. You know, cull those Goyim numbers down, get everything going, get the fear, get the trauma, and get the population control going. It fits nicely, huh? And if it's pure blackout, all of this can be swept aside. All this killing, and any talk of who did it. I mean, Concealed Reality mentioned that yesterday. You know, it's like, if you perform the Seattle false flag and on the back of it you got blackouts, any talk on the internet of it being a false flag is just wiped out because there's no internet. Perfect false flag, eh? Pure chaos. You get tons of people killed by the police. Ah, yes, in this particular movie, this one, Purge Anarchy, it's all about, and it's not much of a spoiler, but it's all about these trucks, these military trucks, going around killing people, targeting certain blocks, targeting people and killing them. And the elites having their little game, their Hunger Games game, going around killing the poor, right? And there's a line in the movie where this government guy says to this government woman, he says, you know, we need to get it going. The people weren't killing each other enough. We needed to bring the soldiers in, the agents provocateurs, whatever, you know, the soldiers to really get the killing going. You know, it's the kind of thing Mossad and CIA do, of course. They stir up the riots like the Ferguson nonsense. You know, agents provocateurs. So in this particular case, they'd send in, plainclothes people to just plainclothes soldiers and police just to start killing So yeah, there's going to be a proper kickoff at some point, and that'll be on the back of a West Coast false flag. Whether they'll do it in Seattle now, because of my prediction, I don't know. They might switch it down to San Francisco or LA. It doesn't even really matter. It's West Coast. It's going to happen. Pacific Rim uprising. So those are my thoughts on the films. I haven't seen the other two. There's an election year and the first Purge, but I don't really even need to. I mean, it's all there. It's all NWO, and we're experiencing a purge anyway on internet truth channels. They're all being wiped out, whether they're legit like my channel or COINTELPRO channels. They've also been wiped out as well. Just they don't want any truth out there at all. Purge. Even InfoWars, the ultimate Zionist shield, they're calling it a purge. Right? Well, this next purge on the back of the West Coast, American West Coast false flag. Oh boy. Well, anything goes, eh? And are we looking at the date there, 31st? Could be 13th, 31st. You've passed the 322 date this year, but today's a good day for something. So what is it? Friday 13th. Oh, they love the Friday 13th. Yeah, there is something about Friday 13th. I was once fired from a job on Friday the 13th. I turned around to my co-worker behind me and I said, oh, gee, look at the date. It's Friday 13th. And then, like, within an hour, my manager came along, pulled me in a room with the company lawyer and fired me on Friday the 13th. And don't forget that Paris was on a Friday 13th, and it was a 3/11 date too. And Paris was at midnight as well. And there's lots of hints to this Midnight Sun, this new film Midnight Sun. What causes a midnight sun? A big boom at midnight. I think there's lots of parallels between the Seattle false flag and the Paris Bataclan hoax. Lots of parallels. Friday 13th. Gee whiz, 13th. Yeah, today. 13th. I'm not saying it's this year. I'm not even saying it's today. I don't know. I don't know the date. But interesting. Lots of parallels. Friday 13th, 3/11 date. Yeah. If you have a look at that date for Paris, it's all 3/11 right in the middle of that date. And at midnight. Yeah. Just thinking that there's a strong parallel with that one, the Bataclan date and midnight timing. Paris at midnight, eh? Or Midnight in Paris, that Woody Allen film that came out a year before. Of course, the Bataclan was midnight in Paris. They always mock you beforehand. The nice guys, the Nice guys. Seven Sisters, what happened to Monday? Seven Sisters Road. Finsbury Park hoax on Seven Sisters Road on a Monday. Oh, how many others? Manchester by the Sea just coming out just before the Manchester non-bombing hoax. Fergie coming out with London Bridge before the London Bridge hoax. Tower Bridge on the way, of course. Oh, and yeah, it's countdown time, innit? This book's in the front of the bookstores. Countdown, 4, 3, 2, 1. Countdown, 4, 3, 2, 1. Film. Look, Ferris Bueller wheel, the Ra wheel, the ISIS wheel, London. ISIS again. Here, Statue of Liberty is ISIS. Cybele. Yeah. Countdown, 4, 3, 2, 1. Girls, days, cities, chance. Oh yeah, cities for sure. This city, New York again, will feature, of course, but I reckon the West Coast has to feature first, whether it's Seattle, San Fran, or LA. Hey, look, there's your Black Panther. Yeah, your homosexual panther. Yeah. Yeah, high rise before Grenfell, huh? That picture, boy. Etc., etc.